Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to show you real quick on a really important thing that you need to do for the grading. So, what we need to do since we moved away from percentages and weighted grades and we moved to points, there is something you need to do in your assignments. We've talked about this. I'm just going to show you real quick how to do it again. So, what you want to do is you want to go to your assignments right down here. All right, somewhere on your course navigation. So you need to do this for every single class. All right, so once you're in your assignments, you're going to see a breakdown of all of your categories, right? So prior to this, you would have had really two categories, formative and summative. You can see right here. So this is where all my stuff used to be. All right. Now, the first thing we need to do is make sure that there's no percentages next to these categories. All right, that means that you're still set, your grade book is still set to weigh grades. It's not on a point system. All right, so we need to remove that. We need to shift to a point system. It's easy enough. All right, so at the top of the assignments, you can see little three dots there, the shish kebab looking thing, right? You click that and you'll see here says edit assignment dates, assignment group weights. That's what we want. We want to remove the weights. So let's click on that. And you can see here if this were clicked, right, it would show like summative 50%, formative 50% or something like that. You don't have to mess with the percentages. All you have to do is unclick that weigh final grade based on assignment groups. Nope, don't want to do that. Boom, get rid of that. All right, so no clicky on that button. Hit save. All right, and that will remove the percentages. Now, many of you want to keep your summative, formative, and there's nothing necessarily hugely wrong with it, but I would challenge you to consider that maybe that might end up being confusing for students because when they see an assignment, they see what assignment group it's under. So underneath the name of the assignment, it says formative, it says summative, or it says whatever group you've put it into based on your categories here in assignments. That's prompted me, at least, to start to create units, right? So unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. And as I'm going through publishing assignments, I'm just assigning it to those units. You can go that far. I like to be organized, but you don't have to do that either, right? That's not the only option. You could also just move all your assignments into a group called assignments right here as an example, right? And this easy way to mass move it too. So say like, I want to move all of my formative things that I had prior to this school year, and I want to move them all to a category called assignments. You can do that. Another thing you consider doing is just renaming this too. You could rename it. So instead of summative, I'm going to call it, something else. I might call it assignments, right? Or something like that. Assignments, hey, I don't know. So there you go. All right, so that's going to rename that thing so it doesn't say summative and the kids don't see summative. All right. The other thing you can do is you can mass move them to a new category, right? So you see formative there. So I'm just going to click on that shish kebab then, and it says move content. Yes, I want to move the contents of this thing. So then it pops open the side thing. Well, where do you want to move it to? Well, I want to move it to assignments, right? And there you go. So it's going to take everything out of formative and move it into assignments. So I'm going to click move. All right, now I got a ton of stuff. So it's going to take a second to think. All right, and it'll take its time. But that's what would happen there. So the most critical step here is to remove the weights. All right. Secondary step, maybe get rid of that formative, summative language. Just so it doesn't confuse kids because we're moving away from formative, summative. Not that formative, summative don't exist. Of course they do, right? But in terms of like related to grades and things like that, maybe we're moving that kind of language. All right, so there you see, all of the formative stuff moved over to assignments. Formative is no more. Shish kebab looking thing, delete. All right, and there we go. So this little guy is going to be gone. All right, so now when my students see if I weren't moving stuff into units, what they would see is underneath the name of the assignment, it would say what group it's part of. So in this case, it would say assignments. Okay. All right, I hope that was helpful. And we'll go through and triple check that you guys did it, because this does affect the grades, grade books, report cards, all that kind of stuff. So it's critical you get this part done. All right, have a great one. If you need some help, come on by and have a great Monday.